forum once again in this closing ceremony. On behalf of AMCAP and ZABIS, I would like to express my deep gratitude for your active participation throughout the day. Just a short recap of the conference today. We had 7 parallel sessions with 3 working groups. The conference invited call for papers from all the faculties of media and communication studies all over Pakistan. And we received around 100 abstracts, and today 50 of those research papers were presented in this conference. I would like to invite Dr. Bushra Hamidur Rahman, President, Association of Media and Communication Academic Professional, to share key takeaways of this conference with all of you. Dr. Bushra Hamidur Rahman.
Thank you very much, Sabahat. Well, I don't know about the takeaways. I think it is you who have to have the takeaways. The whole idea here was that let's sit together, talk to each other, find out more about the issues that are very dear to us and the profession that we are in. How can we improve in the professions that we are in? And I'm so happy that the media professionals came and they gave a excellent input and along with the academicians. I just want to thank Zebis, Wajid. Honestly speaking, Wajid has always been saying that I am your son, and now today, I don't know why he said I'm also like a son-in-law. And I was just wondering, as a son-in-law, what does it really mean? And I said, कि हमारे कल्चर में दामाद जो है ना वो तो अब ये है कि अब I don't know how to do that. But thank you, Wajid. And he's been a silent supporter और खामोश सिपाही पीछे लगा रहता है. और मैं अक्सर ये कहती हूँ कि जो हम आगे इतना बड़ा फशाद रखते हैं उसके पीछे इतनी बड़ी सपोर्ट होती है. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज का दिन इतना खूबसूरत दिन गुजरा. It was beautiful, creative, and all energies. Honestly, all energies. And basically, we all human beings are all energies. And when we are together, it's a network of energies and we synergize. And thank you, Wajid, for all of this. And thank you, the big ones behind Wajid. Thank you. We say long live Pakistan, and so long live Zabist also, and long live the team of Zabist. Thank you very much, lovely students and colleagues, and have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bushra. Now, I would like to use this opportunity to thank the head of campus, Mr. Khusro Pervez Khan, for being a very productive, collaborative partner for this conference today. And thank you, sir, for organizing this remarkable and tremendous event. It is a privilege to organize this event at Zabist under your supervision. And we have seen this department growing in last 3 years with your, insight and experience. I would like to call upon stage head of campus, Mr. Khusro Pervez Khan, to officially close the ceremony.
Thank you very much. So, very abrupt closing. I appreciate that. Honorable Senator Faratullah Babar Saab, guest of honor, and an expert participant of theme 2 also. People from academia, industry, delegates, presenters, moderators, teachers. It is indeed one of the best days of Zabist when this, in the morning, the conference took off. It took off with a note setting by Dr. Saiba, Dr. Bushra, and concluded by our President Zabist, where she summed up and wrapped up the proceedings of the morning. It was wonderful to hear our foreign delegates also, and a message from USA, from Dr. Lee. Wonderful message. The themes you covered, all 3 themes are very relevant to Pakistan. They are very relevant to media education. I must congratulate Dr. Bushra you and your team, ma'am. And मैं बिल्कुल अपना वो वाजिद की के वाजिद, you have come up to those expectations which we put in you long time back, 3 years back, mashallah. Believe me, he is the soul of Zabist. He and his team always come forward with other departments also, other activities also, and they always come forward with some innovative ideas, full of ideas, and then they put through those ideas. That is the finesse. And I always say to my students here, okay, if you want to do something, you're passionate, then do it. And here is one example. Right. Though I personally did not attend the 3 forums in the afternoon, but I listened all the 3 forums one by one. And there was a consensus almost in all the 3 forums that there should be, the academia should speak to industry, must speak to industry. Now, that was the message which I got from all the 3 forums. The academia must speak to industry. And I say that academia has the onerous responsibility to the public sector. It should speak to the communities, listen to their voice. Now, this listening is very, very important. And herefrom, that role comes forward. So the message of the day, when I saw that all 3, there was a consensus, and ma'am, when you were concluding, there was also a consensus that there should be more linkages between academia. And so while Dr. Saab, when it was your turn, Mr. Watson, there was a consensus that there should be a greater harmony between all the players of the state, and they should listen to each other, and academia should come forward in that. And same goes for the first theme, where there was a very, very clear message. I also listened the discussion about the digital media, the role of the digital media. They were saying that this is not journalism. Then they were saying, well, this is not journalism. This is a medium, but it is affecting the youth, and it is affecting every part of life. So I think we need to be, if there should be a statement, it should be a very responsible media is the requirement of the day. So once again, thank you very much, ma'am, you and your team. Thank you very much, Wajid, you and your team, all the delegates who have come here from across Pakistan and from abroad. Thank you very much that you came here. It was really a treat to have all of you here. And thank you, Faratullah Babar Sahab. You took out so much time for us. Thank you very much. Bahut shukriya.
Thank you, sir. None of us is unaware of the name of Professor Dr. Elizabeth Ide. Her presence here is the token of our strong friendship with faculty of Norway. We feel so close with them all just because whenever we invite her, she finds time to be with us. Now, I would request Dr. Elizabeth Ide, Director, JMIC, Oslo Metropolitan University, to share her views about today's whole experience. Dr. Ide.
Well, that's hard to do in 2 minutes. But it's with immense gratitude that I stand here before you. And after having been guided around, been taken good care of, being served everything in the book, being followed here and there, I mean, you just show a hospitality that we in Norway can just have everything to learn from. We're not that good at it, actually. Secondly, I want to be slightly subject matter. I have worked with media studies for more than 30 years, and I'm also a journalist. And I'm very much aware of connections, and I think journalists need to be aware of connections and contextualization. For example, between war, conflict, and environment. How do you think burning of oil wells in Iraq affects the environment and the climate? Between refugees and climate. How is it that climate refugees are not recognized by the UN. They will be one day, I'm sure. How is the economic crisis affecting climate when it comes to climate compensation, which is a dire need for many of the developing countries? A connection that is underreported also. How about the alternatives to war, the peace, and respect for the other not as enemy, but as a brother and sister, subject to politicians and warmongers' hatred speak? There is a connection between that and all the other issues. We need to spend more time thinking about connections. I come from a country and from an institution which has given me the chance to head an international center for journalism and media. And we have as our aim two major things. One is to build bridges between what we call imagined clashes of civilizations. And that title, some of you may remember, was the title of the first conference we organized together with Punjab University in 2009, 10 years ago, actually. We talked about covering each other in an era of imagined, remember the word imagined, clashes of civilization. So one of our aims is to work with these bridges, and we've continued to do that thanks to the collaboration with our partners in Indonesia, in Pakistan, in India, in Tunisia, in Turkey, in many countries. The other aim that we have is to build bridges between, I don't call it the industry, I call it the professionals. But I think we mean the same thing, basically, to build bridges between journalists and journalism educators, journalism researchers, media researchers. And I consider myself sort of a bridge, in the sense that I'm both. I've done many years of journalism, and I still do journalism. And last, before I close, I'd like to cite a journalist who is a Nobel laureate, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, who is a very famous Latin American writer. Some of you who've been around for a while may know his name. He said, after he had the Nobel Literature Prize, that journalism is the noble profession. It's the only profession I could think of having, and I still consider myself a journalist. So if he can be, then why shouldn't we others also respect that profession? This conference, we were sitting in a room together, both academics, teachers, journalists, challenging each other in a very interesting manner. Very lively, interrupting each other at times, as eager people do. But I think this conference, by this spirit, shows that it has made itself a solid fundament for building bridges also here. And I'm forever thankful both to the university here and to the partners in AMCAP for that. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Aider. It is indeed a privilege for us to have a very senior and intellectual politicians of Pakistan, Mr. Faratullah Babar, amongst us. He has served with President Asif Zardari as well as with President Musharraf, and has been a former press secretary with President Asif Zardari. Sir, you have a huge followership in Pakistan, in all of our hearts. This huge round of applause will tell you how what kind of respectful status you have for us. I would really request you to please have some concluding remarks about our conference today.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Khusro Parvez Khan Sahib, head of the Islamabad chapter of Zabist, Madam Bushra Rahman Sahiba, honorable members of the academia, participants, discussants, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, I should like to make a clarification. I was, of course, press spokesperson to President Zardari, but never to Musharraf. Khusro Parvez Khan Sahib, I would like to compliment you for organizing such a stimulating, intellectually stimulating discourse. This institute is named after a political leader of Pakistan who was not only a political giant, but also an intellectual giant. And it is quite natural that you have held such a stimulating intellectual discourse on media, ethics in media, and on other media related subjects. I should like to compliment the speakers, members from the academia. The session that I attended that was about the ethics, and I found that those who presented papers had done their homework. They knew what their subject was. And I must admire also Bushra Rahman Sahiba. I admire her because I have seen in the parliament and outside how people conduct proceedings. And she reminded me of Raza Rabbani's stern way of, handling the proceeding. Congratulations to you, Bushra Rahman Sahiba. All good things in life one day come to an end, and this wonderful evening and this wonderful day today will also shortly come to an end. But before it comes to an end, I want to leave with you two thoughts about the subject matter that we discussed today. It is very fascinating, very instructive when we talk about the ethical issues in media today. It's very important. Well, of course, ethical issues in media have always been discussed in the government, in the media organizations, in the civil society. But now, the ethical issues in media have been fundamentally and irrevocably altered because of the advent of the social media. And when in the morning session, which Bushra Rahman presided, she began by saying that media is all about the people. Yes, it is all about the people, and more specifically about the words people speak and the words the people write. When we say that media is power, it is actually the word which has the power. The words that you speak and the words that you write, that is the power. And this has been established in all religions also. As the Christian, the Bible would say that in the beginning there was Word. Word was with God, and God was the Word. So the Word has a certain specific significance. And since the Word is important, because the Word is, ये जो अल्फाज हैं, अल्फाज मोहब्बत का भी जरिया है, नफरत का भी है. लफ्ज़ जो है वो अमन भी है और जंग भी है. लफ्ज़ जो है वो अकीदे का इजहार है और अकीदत का भी इजहार है. सो द वर्ड होल्ड्स एनॉर्मस पोटेंशियल. इट इज़ अ पावर. तो आज जो सबसे बड़ा एथिकल इशू है, that is, and I would like to leave this thought with the young students of media studies, and that is that the new technologies have dramatized the outreach of the media and the outreach of the power of the word. Long time back, centuries ago, the power of the word was only limited to interpersonal communication until the printing press was invented. And the printing press dramatically enhanced the outreach of the power of the word. Now, in your time, in the time of these young people who are sitting here, what has happened is that media has become democratized. By democratized, I don't mean that decisions are taken in democratic manner. By democratization, I mean the emergence of citizen journalist. Now, every citizen also has the power not only to write, but also to publish and broadcast. ये जो इख्तियार आया है सिटीजन के पास कि वो न सिर्फ अल्फाज लिखता है, बोलता है. For the first time, a citizen in the world now is a broadcaster and is also a publisher. This has fundamentally and irrevocably altered the media landscape throughout the world and more so in Pakistan. इसलिए आपके सामने जब आप एथिक्स की बात करें, एथिक्स की चेंज, what are the new ethical standards and values? about which this morning session was devoted, to remember that the traditional media, it had certain values, and the traditional media until the 20th century, and the traditional value of the media was accuracy. अब accuracy की जगह सोशल मीडिया में immediacy आ गई है, immediate breaking news syndrome. Therefore, the value of accuracy is likely to be compromised. The second thing is that in the conventional media, there was pre-publication verification of the facts. In the social media, there is no such thing as pre-publication verification. In the social media, there is post-publication verification. Another value, fundamental value, has been altered. In the traditional media, there was respect for privacy. You could not name certain things. You could not invade the privacy of an individual. Now in the social media, the stress is on transparency. Transparency to the extent of invading the privacy. So another fundamental value has been challenged. In the traditional media, you had impartiality and objectivity. In the social media, I am partial. I don't claim to be impartial. So suddenly the media, from impartial value, it has become a partial value. And finally, in the traditional media, anonymity of the source was discouraged. The editors would be very reluctant to publish a story quoting anonymous sources. And but now, in the social media, a new ethics has emerged, and they say that anonymity is needed for investigative journalism. तो ये जो तमाम वैल्यूज हैं ये अब चेंज हो गई हैं और आपको the young students, the young practitioners of media must give it a serious thought. The academia should also give it a serious thought कि हम मीडिया करिकुलम में क्या चीज़ें शामिल होनी चाहिए so that you are able to confront the changing ethics of media. मैं आपका ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं लेना चाहता, but I would like to say that the entire session I enjoyed. Not only I enjoyed, but I also learned. The reason that I came here was partly because you had invited me and I had to come, but I also wanted to learn. And I tell you, Khosrow Parvez Saab, that I learned from the discourse today. I want to compliment you all once again and thank you for listening to me with such great patience and with such great attention that even for a while I also thought that perhaps I talked sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Senator Faratullah Babar, for gracing our ceremony with your presence. Now, it's a time when we pay our regards to all our academicians and research scholars who joined us today with some souvenirs. I would like to request upon the stage Dr. Bushra Hamidur Rahman to accompany Senator Faratullah Babar, Dr. Wajid Zulkarnain as well, so that we can one by one start inviting our guests. As a wonderful host, I must say we would like to thank Mr. Khusru Parvez Khan for today's remarkable conference. Sir, kindly come on the stage and receive your souvenir from Senator. Now, I would request Dr. Elizabeth Ide to receive her souvenir from respectable Senator Faratullah Babar. In another round of applause, I would request Professor Rune Ottoson to please come on the stage. I would also like to request Dr. Altafullah Khan, who joined us today as keynote speaker in our plenary session in the morning. Thank you, sir, for being here all the way from Lahore. I would also like to request Dr. Anjum Zia to kindly receive her souvenir as well. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us today. Now I would request Dr. Zafar Iqbal to also grace our stage with his presence. He's head of the International Islamic University, Islamabad, Media Studies Department. May I please request Dr. Abdul Siraj, head of the department, Bahria University. Dr. Siraj has recently conducted and organized a two-day international conference on conflict and media. May I also request Mr. Rehan Hassan from Rifa University to please come on the stage and receive his souvenir. It is our pleasure to have Mr. Pervez Khan from Kohart University today. Thank you, sir, for attending the whole session. May I please request Mr. Fazullah Jan to also Dr. Fazullah Jan to please receive his souvenir from Senator Faratullah Babar. I hope you are not too tired to clap. I would also request Dr. Khalid Sultan to kindly receive your souvenir from Senator Faratullah Babar. Dr. Mudassir will receive the souvenir on Dr. Khalid Sultan's behalf. Now, one of the most favorite teachers of our, Dr. Bushra Hamidur Rahman, Madam, kindly please receive your souvenir from Senator. I would also request Dr. Abida Ejaz, Vice President AMCAP, to receive her shield as well. Now, I would request Mr. Khosrow Parvez Khan to accompany Senator to present the shield to our host, Dr. Wajid Zulkarnain. We have an equally popular teacher from Lahore here amongst us, Mr. Fahad Mahmood from AMCAP, Assistant Professor, Institute of Communication Studies, Punjab University. The academic input in today's conference was from Association of Media and Communication Academic Professionals, and now we are inviting all the AMCAP members one by one to receive their shield from Senator. I would also request Mr. Zaim Yassin from Lahore College University to receive his shield from Senator. May I please invite upon the stage Dr. Samira Batul. Thank you, ma'am, for being a wonderful help, a huge help during this conference. A big round of applause for Ms. Shazia Said. This event was totally not possible without her hard work, commitment, and dedication. Thank you, Ms. Shazia Said, for being here. Our one of the core executive members is Dr. Zahid Bilal, and I guess he is not present at the occasion right now.
And now we have Sabahat Afsheen, the executive manager of AMCAP. MashaAllah, sir. The coordinator. MashaAllah. Sabahat, thank you very much. Thank you for everything.
Now, it's going to be a very, very special session for all the backup support without whom this event was not possible. And whatever you have seen in this campus today is all because of the dedication and hard work of Team Zabest. And I would like to call upon the stage, firstly, Naveedullah Hashmi, sir, to receive his shield. Miss Amna Zarif has also worked day and night to make this event possible. I would also request Ms. Iram Akram to receive her souvenir from Senator. May I please request Ms. Shumaila Koser to receive her souvenir as well. Thank you so much, Zabis team and AMCAP team. Now I would like to thank our digital media, AMCAP's digital media team and the social media team of Zabist as well. A few names I would really like to mention here so that you can congratulate them on conducting such a huge and successful event. Mr. Saqib Salim, being the social media manager. Ms. Lubna Khalil from AMCAP. Mr. Amir Nawaz Khan. I cannot hear your, applause enough. Yes. Mr. Ehsan Khan for working a lot since last 3 days. Mr. Zain Khan and Ali Niazi as well. And all those who lent their support to make this event possible. Now I have some special certificates for all the volunteers who worked to organize this huge conference today. May I please request Ms. Chumaila to help me with all these certificates, please. Now I'm going to call upon the names of all the volunteers one by one. Kindly come up on the stage and collect your certificate from our respectable guests. Mr. Shahmeer. Mr. Shahmeer. Hafiz Hamza. Hafiz Hamza. Mr. Ahmal Jadoon or Miss Zunaira Sheikh. Qasim Abbasi. Ehsan Ghani. Noor. It's just Noor. I don't know it's Mr. or Miss. It's Noor. Sayyida Zaina Zedi. Mahpara Beg. Yarzeen. It's Farzeen. Sorry. Farzeen. Ali Kazam Malik. Hadia. Miss Hadia. Hamza Ali Zahir. Faisal Khan. Hadia Nasir. Hadia Nasir. Faryal Fatima. I would also request upon the stage Justice Hamidur Rahman, husband of Dr. Visha Hamidur Rahman. We are really honored, sir, to have you here in today's event. A big round of applause for Justice Saab. I would request Justice Saab to accompany Senator Saab to present these certificates to all the volunteers who have worked so hard for this event. Mariam Imtiaz, Maham, Sara, Shanze, Kandil Kamal, oh, it's Kandil Kamal, Sarmat Shoaib, Sarmat Shoaib, Muhammad Mujahid, Syed Haris Ali, बहुत फेवरेटिज्म हो रहा है किसी किसी पे, अरमगान मुस्तफा, Jibran Haider, and Habib Butt. Now our AMCAP social media team, Mr. Ehsan Khan. Thank you, Ehsan, for keeping us posted through social media, for keeping us connected through Facebook. Mr. Ali Khan Niazi from AMCAP team. There are some special certificates to the staff who have been really preparing for this conference. Miss Nida Arzu Kazmi. Thank you, Miss Nida. I've seen you working in the office, and I've been seeing you for the last 3 days. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा आपको volunteers के साथ बुलाना। बाद में उनको shields भी और do we have another shield for Hafiz Shoaib Rizvi. I would request all the students to please have big round of applause for all these people, as you can never have such an organized event without their support. Mohammad Umar Iqbal. Muhammad Ali. Ataullah Khan. Mr. Ataullah Khan Niazi. Mr. Faisal Shehzad. Mr. Faisal Shehzad. Mr. Nabil Tahir. Muhammad Rizwan Qureshi. I would thank this supporting staff once again to organize such a tremendous event today. Now, in the end, I would request Head of Campus, Mr. Khusru Parvez Khan, and Dr. Bushra to kindly present a token of today's conference as a souvenir to Justice Retired Iqbal Hamidur Rahman. It's a privilege for us to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for being here and to grace our occasion. We also have another guest of honor, Dr. Salma Ambar amongst us. Madam, kindly come up on the stage and receive your shield from Senator. A very important token of shield goes to Syed Muhammad Saqib Salim for a beautiful digital media campaign for this conference on behalf of AMCAP. Thank you, Saqib. And I'm sure after this conference, we are going to have a huge traffic on our pages. In the end, I would like to request Dr. Busha Hamidur Rahman to officially thank and conclude our ceremony today. Thank you, everyone.
This is the कहते हैं अल्लाह ताला का शुक्र अदा करने से पहले हमें अपने बंदों का शुक्र अदा करना चाहिए and that is the sign that we are really in a state of gratitude. And I think the way we live the present, how do we know that we are living in the present? It is only when we are in a state of gratitude. And I must thank I should thank all of the people who are here, especially my AMCAP members, Fahad, Zaim, Samira, Shazia, Saqib, and all the others. Mashallah, say thank you very, very much. Okay, okay. And and all the head of the departments who have come from other cities, please thank you very, very much. And yes, oh yes, yes. And basically, I wanted to sort of wanted to thank. Thank you. I mean, अगर ये छोटी छोटी blunders ना हो तो फिर how can we? To err is but human, and to forgive is but divine. Basically, I wanted to take this mic again. Was I really, really wanted to show my deep appreciation for Dr. Elizabeth and Dr. Rune. This is a trying time for Pakistan, and they are the ambassadors of their country as well as a sort of whole academia behind them. And in this very critical time, they are with us. And in fact, they have got commitments. They were supposed to be leaving tomorrow, and hopefully everything goes well with them. I have sometimes you have got friends and you sometimes take them lightly, but basically from Dr. Elizabeth and Dr. Rune, the relationship is just not of academic nature, it's also of a spiritual nature. The reason being that their concern, their sensitivity to all the people, and then of course now Elizabeth has talked about climate, is so acute. And it's not possible that the energies and the sensitivities that they have for the entire humanity is not transmitted. And we are really, really very fortunate to have them with us. And it is basically people who are most important, this land and this thing is all secondary. So I really, really want to show deepest gratitude for, honestly, there are no words. Thank you very much, Dr. Rune and Dr. Elizabeth. And Dr. Elizabeth is supposed to be leaving for Kabul tomorrow. Let's hope everything goes well for her. And she is, mashallah, may Allah Ta'ala always keep you in His protection and His mercy. And in the end, I like to thank Dr. Abda she's the Vice President of AMCAP. Well, usually people call husband a better half, and I would like to call her also that way, and she's my kind of a soulmate also. Thank you, Abda, for being with us throughout, and thank you, Abdullah. And Sir Farutullah, we are so sorry. You've been at the giving end, you've been giving, and now I think it's time to receive. And Allah Ta'ala also says giving is receiving. So kindly please come and receive your... Sir Khusru Parvez, can you please help us again? Thank you, thank you. I think it's coming in.
Thank you so much, Senator, for being really patient with us.
Don't miss the Sufi.
Okay, so now I have to make a few announcements. Firstly, I would request for a formal photograph of Senator with head of campus and Justice Saab, of all the MCAP team and the Zabis team on the stage, maybe, or wherever Dr. Wajid recommends. And afterwards, we all will have some informal concluding, closing photographs. And okay. अच्छा, तो वो जो uh, can you please all stand up on your seats so that we can have a very organized kind of group photograph? I don't want any, not the first row, sorry. I would also like you to please accommodate all these volunteers who have been standing here throughout the show. Maybe you can stand in the center somewhere. I don't want you to be missed from the frame. चलो 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 मैं भी आ गई चलो चलो You have been a lovely audience, and I expect that you will show the same respect till the end. और अभी तो पार्टी शुरू होने का वक्त हुआ चाहता है